What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm the Viking. Got some DC news for you today, maybe some rumors that Birds of Prey might be getting a sequel without Harley Quinn. Interesting. Birds of Prey came out early 2020. I did like the movie. The trailers were pretty good. The movie was good. Some things I didn't like Jared Leto's shoulder being shown, an animated Joker. I thought the movie could have been longer, the action could have been better. Black Mask should have been in that movie more because he was amazing. But overall, I had a good time. I enjoyed the movie. And yeah, I think I enjoyed the movie. Some people like it, some people don't. But look, let's not talk about that now. But Birds of Prey sequel is probably in doubt because that movie didn't do amazingly at the box office. The marketing for that movie was very poor. Like many of the DC movies lately, it was so bad. Remember they changed the title? It was like Birds of Prey and the Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. And then they changed it to Birds of Prey, Harley Quinn, or Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey, Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey, something like that, a week after it came out because they knew, yeah, we messed up. We shouldn't have called it Birds of Prey. Nobody knows who the Birds of Prey are. We're not Marvel. We can't just put out a random movie and it do well. We're DC. We have to really put effort into our stuff here. So yeah, they messed up big time. And a sequel for this movie seemed to be in doubt for a very long time. But we have a new report from the hashtagshow.com that they say a Birds of Prey sequel without Harley Quinn is in development at Warner Brothers. Let's get into this article and see what they have to say. I can exclusively share that Warner Brothers has greenlit a Birds of Prey sequel. However, it will not feature Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn. This explains why Robbie has said that a sequel is not in active development. She is simply not involved. No plot details are available at this time. The film was very recently, as within the last few months, greenlit. So an outline is being worked on and a script is still a ways off. However, we can share some details on the information we got from our source. This is what they know about Birds of Prey 2 so far. Despite not featuring Harley Quinn, the film will still be a continuation of 2020's Birds of Prey. Harley Quinn. Presumably dropping Harley Quinn is in response to the title issues and misleading marketing for the last film. Despite Harley not showing up, Journey Smollett's Black Canary is expected to return, while Huntress and Renee Montoya were mentioned in the outline I saw. There was no outright information or mention of casting. However, it's safe to assume that Mary Elizabeth Winstead and Rosie Perez could also return. In the comics, Batgirl is also a member of the Birds of Prey, and from the information I saw, Batgirl does appear in this. Although, again, there was no mention of casting. However, there is a strong possibility that Leslie Grace would continue to play the character in the film. The villain in the outline was the Calculator, with a third act appearance by his created robot assassin Burnrate. It was mentioned that, as in the comics, the Calculator will have an obsession with Barbara Gordon, and this obsession will later prove deadly. While it may be disappointing to hear that Birds of Prey is dropping Harley Quinn, it does make some sense considering that the first film left her in a place where she abandoned the team, and by all accounts it seems like Warner Bros. Is being more comics accurate and letting the characters get more time to shine. A director has not been selected yet, and considering that this will utilise Barbara Gordon as well as Black Canary, it's safe to assume that we're a good 2 to 3 years from this coming to fruition. So there we have it, everything we know about the Birds of Prey sequel from the hashtagshow.com. If it's 2 to 3 years away, why tell us now? Anyway, it is a surprise that Birds of Prey is getting a sequel, considering the box office that movie made with Harley Quinn. Now a sequel's happening without Harley Quinn. With Batgirl being a HBO Max movie and Black Canary being a HBO Max movie, if I was a betting man, Birds of Prey will be a HBO Max sequel. Because to bring these characters back to the big screen without Harley Quinn, I don't see the box office being too good there either, unless you add somebody like Batman to the mix. Even if you add Batgirl. It looks like that DC is trying to build up these lesser known characters on HBO Max and then maybe eventually bring them to the big screen, because they have messed up. Look at Marvel. You got Iron Man, Captain America, Black Widow, Hawkeye. They've made solo movies. They've put these characters into big movies. Audiences know who they are, and then when Hawkeye gets a show, everyone's excited. They'll watch it because they know the character. Ant-Man, Marvel can make an Ant-Man movie and that will do pretty well because Marvel has built up a trust with the audience, and the audience know what they're getting. DC has relied too much on Batman, and they still do to an extent. Games, comics, movies, 3 Batmans coming out next year, and they have ignored the lesser known characters, but finally they're getting to those characters. Blue Beetle, Static Shock, Batgirl. These characters now are being brought to life But they might have to settle for HBO Max, because to put them out in theaters, I don't think DC can afford to lose too much more money. The Suicide Squad, Birds of Prey, Shazam, good movies, just didn't make big box office money like a Batman v Superman, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman back in the old days. Aquaman did pretty well for itself. So, I will watch this movie. I did like Cathy Yen's first movie. Would she return? If I was to guess, I would say that she won't return for this at all. That's just what I'm thinking right now. But the rest of the cast, Black Canary, Renee Montoya, they were fine. They were fine, but I would like to see them expand a little bit more story to them. I think they were just left to the side a good bit in Birds of Prey, and Harley Quinn was just kind of brought into it to get seats and asses, and they thought that, Suicide Squad did well, Harley Quinn was in that, people are going to come and see Birds of Prey. That wasn't the case whatsoever, plus the marketing was shit. But a brand new villain, the Calculator, and his assassin burn rate, that's interesting stuff. Obsessed with Batgirl. And I think putting Batgirl in this is actually a pretty good idea, because that's what I'm talking about. At that stage, a Batgirl film will have come out with Leslie Grace. And hopefully that's a really good movie, and it pushes that character up. And people are like, oh, Batgirl was pretty good, I can't wait to see that character next. And then you put Batgirl in Birds of Prey 2, and it only elevates characters like Renee Montoya, like Huntress, and whatever other characters you're going to bring into it, because those characters are lesser known. And the Black Canary movie is the exact same thing. Where can I watch Black Canary next, or Batgirl? Where? Oh, Birds of Prey 2? Cool, I'm going to watch that. And then you see the other characters, the side characters, and they're all built up. So hopefully that's the way it works for DC going forward. So, look, adding Barbara Gordon, it looks like they're very confident in Leslie Grace, if that's the case. So I'm looking forward to seeing Batgirl first, to see if that's a good movie, if that's a good character, if she's a good actress for that character. And let's go. Journey Smollett as Black Canary is already perfect, so I can't wait for that movie. But guys, what's your thoughts on the Birds of Prey sequel? Are you surprised like I am? And this one will not feature Harley Quinn whatsoever, so that's a lot of ground to make up with such a big character now taken out of the sequel. Let me know, guys, below. Give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for all this DC, Marvel news, reviews, all that good stuff. Yeah, very interested to hear your thoughts. Are you excited for a Birds of Prey sequel, if this report is true, or are you going to give this one a miss? Thanks, guys. See you in the next one.